Pereira of Ceylon. And J.C.J. van Rensburg of South Africa.
The boxing finals open up with the Bantamweight Championship.
The lightweight championship between R. Latham of England and W. Barber of Australia.
Latham of England wins the title on points. In the final of the middleweight contest, J.T. Beale, New Zealand, fights T. von Skolkvik of South Africa.
Rowing. 100 miles south of Auckland to Karapiro, where New Zealand's latest hydroelectricity scheme has provided a man-made lake, ideal water for rowing. On the western bank, crowds gather to watch events over the 2,000-metre course. They see Olympic champion Mervyn Wood of Australia sweep to an easy victory in the single sculls, pulling away from Roe of England, Stephen of South Africa, England, New Zealand. A win by 2.5 lengths. Mervyn Wood, Australia, Olympic and British Empire Games champion. Now the fours are away. Australia in white nearest and New Zealand on the far side. New Zealand slowly open up a lead and seem determined not to lose it. Australia begins to make a bid for the lead, but New Zealand steadily pulls away. It's New Zealand first and Australia second. The double sculls. New Zealand in lane 1, England in lane 2, and Australia on the far side. The New Zealanders, Snyder and Simonson, go into the lead, followed by England and then Australia. The Australians, Wood and Riley, are pulling away now to pass England and catch New Zealand. It's Australia first over the line again, with New Zealand second. The eights. Australia on the inside, New Zealand in lane 2, and England on the far side. New Zealand takes the lead from Australia, with England in third place. Approaching the line, the Australian start a finishing burst. And it's Australia again to win by 1 foot. Out of 5 events in the British Empire Games rowing, Australia win 4 and New Zealand 1.
Back at Eden Park, the weather is showery and the track waterlogged for the start of the 1-mile final.
On your mark. Set, set.
Into the back straight for the first time, Hutchins of Canada leads from Marshall, New Zealand, Eyre of England, Parnell, Canada, Sinclair, New Zealand, and Marks, Australia. Parnell cracks on the pace to run into the lead from the Yorkshireman Eyre, who won the 3 miles convincingly and is favourite for the mile. Eyre looks as though he's trying to wear the field down already as he passes Parnell and opens up a big lead. Eyre sets a terrific pace for the wet track, but Parnell and Marshall are hanging on. Sinclair of New Zealand has moved up to 2nd place with Marshall and Parnell 4th as they approach the end of lap 2. Parnell is moving up again, and as they approach the end of lap 3, it's Eyre leading from Parnell and Marshall. Less than a lap to go, and Eyre has increased his lead. Parnell passes Marshall to go into 2nd place and sets sail after Eyre with 150 yards to go. In one of the outstanding performances of the Games, Parnell gives Canada her first track victory, and the time on a waterlogged ground, 4 minutes 11 seconds, a new Empire Games record. And now the women's broad jump. Yvette Williams of New Zealand, covering 19 feet 2 1/4 inches in her first leap, beats the Games record by 2 inches. Judy Canty of Australia, 18 feet 11 1/4 inches, gets 2nd place for Australia. Ruth Darman of New Zealand jumps into 3rd place. Yvette Williams again. 19 feet 4 5/8 inches, a Games record by an outstanding athlete who also gained a place in the women's javelin. McGibbon, Australia. Dorothy Tyler, England, who is competing in her 15th international meeting. A 15-year-old schoolgirl, Rivet Karnak, New Zealand, who wins 3rd place. Williams again. Second place with 124 feet 6 3/4 inches. And the event is won at 127 feet 5 1/4 inches by McGibbon, Australia. The women's high jump, Gordon of Canada. Dorothy Tyler, England. Swinton, New Zealand. Brewis, New Zealand. Silburn, Canada. Crowther, England. Manley, England. 5 feet 3 inches, and Dorothy Tyler wins the title for England. 5 feet 4 inches, and Mrs. Tyler attempts to raise the game's record, of which she is joint holder. A victory for England by Dorothy Tyler. The Empire's fastest sprinters meet again in the final of the men's 220. Canada is represented by Donald Petty, who was third in the 100, and Australia by Gordon and Johnston, who registered second fastest time in the heats and semi-finals, and Treloar, fastest in the preliminaries with 21.7. Treloar is running in lane 2, and in the 2 outside lanes are the New Zealanders Jowett and Parker.
On your mark. Set.
Treloar wins easily in 21.5 seconds. In a photo finish for the minor placings, number 75, Johnston of Australia, is second, and 116, Jowett of New Zealand, third. In the 440 hurdles, John Holland, New Zealand Olympic Games representative, won both his heat and semi-final comfortably. In the final, Holland will be running against the Olympic hurdler Duncan White of Ceylon, who set a new Games record of 52.8 in his heat. White is in lane 2 and Holland in lane 5. Gedge of Australia is in lane 3, Whittle of England in 4, Luber, South Africa on the outside, and Goodacre, Australia, inside. White leads after the second hurdle and is still ahead over the third. Gedge falls at the second last hurdle, and at the last, Holland has a slight lead on White, but White is overtaking the New Zealander. White wins by a narrow margin from Holland with Goodacre third. White's time, 52.5, a new Empire Games record, bettering the one he set in his heat and only 0.3 of a second outside the world record. Holland's time of 52.7 also breaks the old record.
Day and night, the games, swimming and diving events are being run off at Auckland's Olympic Pool. In the women's 220 yards breaststroke final, 6 swimmers go to the start.
Take your marks.
Gordon, Scotland, in the second lane goes into the lead. In lane 1, Hosking, Australia. Coming down on the second lap, just behind Gordon, who's still in the lead, is Lyons, Australia. Going into the third lap, and Gordon is still in the lead. Church, England, moving up into third place. As they turn into the last lap, it's still Gordon in the lead. And it's Helen Gordon with B. Lyons, Australia, second, and E. Church, England, third. Time 3 minutes, 1.7 seconds. A new British Empire Games record. Helen Gordon gives Scotland their first Games win. The women's 110 yards backstroke. Away on the first lap with Davies, Australia, leading in lane 3, followed by Stewart, New Zealand, in lane 4, and Yate, England, in lane 5. Going into the last lap, it's Davies, Stewart, and here comes Girvan, Scotland. Victory for Australia by Judy Joy Davies, followed by Jean Stewart, New Zealand, second, and Helen Yate, England, third. Time 1 minute, 18.6 seconds, a new Games record. Now the men's 220 yards breaststroke.
Take your marks.
In lane 1 is Callan, New Zealand. Romaine, England, leads the way in lane 2. Hawkins, Australia, lane 3. Sharp, Australia, lane 4. Shanahan, New Zealand, lane 5. And Eagle, New Zealand, lane 6. Going into the second lap, Romaine is away first, but not far behind him are Hawkins, Shanahan, Eagle, and here's Sharp, Australia. Into the third lap with Romaine still leading the way. The bell lap, and Hawkins, Australia, in lane 3 takes the lead. It's Hawkins, Australia first, Romain, England second, with Sharp, Australia third. Time 2 minutes, 54.1 seconds.
The judges are ready for the women's diving. This is Elle Hunt of Canada, competing in the 3-meter springboard. Two springboard dives by N. McLean of Australia. McLean came second in this event and was later to secure third place in the tower diving. Dives by E. Child of England, winner of a double first in the women's events. Men's tower diving from the 10-meter board. The diver is P. Heatley of Scotland, the new British Empire high diving champion. Two more dives from Heatley. Dr. George Athens of Canada, first in the men's springboard, second in the tower diving. 3 dives. J. McCann of Australia. And here again are the outstanding divers. Dr. Athens of Canada, second from the high board, first on the springboard. Peter Heatley of Scotland, first from the high board, second from the 3-meter springboard. Nolene McLean of Australia, runner-up in the women's events, looks on, while Edna Child of England, first at both levels, climbs the 33 feet to the top. It was by dives of this quality that Edna Child won both women's events for England.
A highlight of the swimming events is the final of the women's 440 yards freestyle. As they come up the pool on the first lap, it's Harrison, South Africa in the lead, followed by Griffin, New Zealand, Norton, Australia, and Wellington, England. second lap, and it's still South Africa's 14-year-old representative. She's followed by Griffin, Norton and Wellington. Harrison forges along in front. Lap 7 with Harrison still in the lead. Seven laps gone and one to go, and it's Harrison, followed by Norton, Australia. The winner, Joan Harrison, South Africa, with Margaret Wellington, England, second, and Denise Norton, Australia, third. Time 5 minutes, 26.4 seconds, a new British Empire Games record. The men's 110 yards backstroke. Going away fast from the start, it's Yvette, South Africa in lane 3, followed by Brockway, Wales in lane 4, and Kinnear, Scotland in lane 5. At the turn, it's still Yvette, but Brockway in lane 4 has caught the South African as they come away. Yvette, South Africa, wins by a touch from Brockway, with Kinnear third. Time, 1 minute, 7.7 seconds. A close finish that's worth seeing again. Now, from swimming in the rain, we go back to Eden Park.
The marathon. Amongst the 16 starters lining up to run the course of 26¼ miles are, from the right, Prentice, Australia, Richards, Wales, who ran second in the last Olympic marathon, Holden, England, and coming into line, Leet, South Africa. They're away, and the four New Zealanders, Clark, Bromley, Fox and Lydiard, take the lead. Under threatening skies, they run half a lap of the arena and move out through the stand. As they leave Eden Park, the order is Bromley, Clark, Fox and Lydiard, New Zealand, Fedoric, Canada, Prentice, Australia, Patterson, Scotland, Norman, Canada, Leet, South Africa, Emerton, Pottage and Stanley, Australia, Coty and Collins, Canada, and tailing the field, Holden, England, and Richards, Wales. Two miles, and the leaders are Elite, South Africa, Lydiard and Bromley, New Zealand, Prentice, Australia, and Fedoric, Canada. 5 miles, and rain is beginning to fall. Out onto Mangere Bridge, Holden, England, and Richards, Wales have moved up into the leading group with Elite, South Africa. With a third of the course covered, the field is spreading out, Holden leading by 50 yards from lead. Meanwhile, back at Eden Park, rain is falling steadily, and spectators are doing their best to keep dry. But the events continue in trying conditions. As the steady rain becomes a downpour, competitors make for shelter, and so do the spectators, where they can. Back on the marathon course, Holden has increased his lead to 200 yards from lead. 130 yards behind are Prentice, Australia, Bromley and Clark, New Zealand, and Richards, Wales. Miles to go, and Holden, England, who has discarded his soggy shoes, is still leading from Leith of South Africa. Running third is Clark of New Zealand. Stanley of Australia has moved up into fourth place and is closely followed by Richards of Wales. Holden now has a firm lead of 3 minutes and is steadily increasing it. His impassive face shows nothing of the pain he must be suffering from his bare and blistered feet. 3 miles, 2 miles, it seems that nothing can stop him now. And so to Eden Park. An excited murmur from the crowd swells to a roar as Holden enters the arena. On round the track with still a lap to go, the soft grass a welcome relief to his blistered feet. The 42-year-old Englishman moves steadily along, more than 4 minutes ahead of the rest of the field. With 26 1/4 grueling miles behind him, Holden crosses the finishing line, still apparently tireless. His time, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 57 seconds. Next comes Leith, sprinting the last 100 yards. The 24-year-old South African's time is 2 hours, 37 minutes, 2.2 seconds, just over 4 minutes more than Holden's. 2.5 minutes later, Clark, New Zealand, comes in, followed by Stanley, Australia, who starts his last lap as Clark finishes the course. Fifth is Richards of Wales, and the crowds remember his magnificent run into second place in the 1948 Olympic Marathon. Of the 16 starters, all but 3 competed the course in this, one of the major events of the 1950 Empire Games.